And if we look back here, there's his child. There's the child. There's the creepy child, which means, okay, this is what I'm thinking it has happened. So, hello everybody, it is finally time. Alpha 4 is here, TinyBuild has now confirmed it, and it is upon us, and we are ready. Okay, but before we do get into Alpha 4, it is important that we remember what is going on in everything else, because there's lots and lots of stuff that is important to Alpha 4, as has been confirmed by the developers, that we need to make sure that we remember. So we're coming in here today to try and remember everything we possibly can about Alpha 3 and the previous alphas, so that we can know what is going on and be prepared for the future. So we are here today to sort of recap that and see what's going on, but the confirmed release date is May 4th. So we only have 2 days left, 2 days and a few hours until it is out, and we will be live streaming that right after the release date. We're going to pump out one video and then start the live stream immediately after, so we can figure something out, or we might just go straight into the live stream. I don't know. We'll see what's going on that day, but definitely stick around. Right after noon that day, we will be live streaming, and it's going to be a lot of fun. But let's go ahead and get into what we're doing today. Okay, to sort of cover what important details are in this version, we're going to sort of run around and just point them out. Now, we have gone ahead and gotten the neighbor out of our way so that we can easily maneuver our way around the map and take a look at a bunch of different stuff. So, things that we don't know about still. We still have this room right here. We still have the classroom back in the back over here that's sort of creepy and spooky going on behind this door. But we don't really know anything about those yet, and I'm not sure what's going on with them. We also don't know what's going on in this room. This room is kind of pretty well put together. If we can make our way all the way up here, there we go. Alright, but if we come in here, you can see this room is pretty well, I guess you can't see anything. Let's go ahead and grab the flashlight real fast. Okay, we're back with our flashlight. So you can see this room is pretty well put together. It's actually 2 stories. We have this bottom story here where we are with the door in the floor, and then a staircase which is sort of there but not exactly, and then a door that opens to the abyss. And then up here we have a rail car going through here, and we actually have some chairs and boxes going on. So they did expect us to get in here. I mean, they expected us to get everywhere in this version. They did not leave out any details so that they knew we would be getting into everything. They just knew all about it. So now we know. Now we know what's going on with here. We don't really know what's going to be going on in there exactly yet, though. Okay, so another thing that we know about is that little secret over there. So this one is obviously put just for us because they knew we were gonna be cheating, and that is the only possible way of getting up here, unless you somehow fling yourself with a box, which is extremely unlikely, although I have done it once before. It's very, very unlikely, and we have this code sitting here, which we have yet to discover any use for. It is 223810. So if you do have any sort of idea as to what this code could pertain to, that would be very useful and helpful information, and I would love to hear from you guys on that one, because I honestly have no clue, and maybe I'm just forgetting something, but I don't think so. But yeah, this is just the same numbers from that first one, except we can't pick these up. So nothing here is movable. These are all just glued in. They don't move. They're all there. And then we also have a date on the box, which is 1804. So I'm not sure what that means yet, but I don't think it's super important. It might have been relevant to when they actually started releasing. I wonder. Let's actually take a look at what their first one that they released is. I don't know if it's relevant, but it might be. That'd be kind of interesting. I don't know. Maybe they put that in there on purpose, but I'm not entirely sure. Okay, so that's a few of those secrets covered. So another few things that we know about. The most important thing outside of the map so far that we really know about is the church and the Golden Apple Supermarket. And the Golden Apple Supermarket is actually very important for a few different reasons. First of all, it's obviously the Golden Apple, which has been a big thing for a long time now. But then we have sort of theorized that the Golden Apple Supermarket is where the neighbor works. That's sort of the theory that we have come up with that makes the most sense to us. So our neighbor should be right around here somewhere, so we got to be a little bit careful because I teleported him onto the roof. So we got to be careful about that. But let's go ahead and make our way up in here if we can. Is it this one? Whoa. Whoa. Okay. Didn't know we could come in here, but apparently we can. Okay. Get me out of there. Alright, there we go, we're out of there. But if we come in here, we can actually grab this and then make our way up there. Let's see where that is. Doop. Nailed it. I'm a genius. Okay, so if we jump in here now, you guys can see exactly what I'm talking about. Boop. Wow, I went too far. Oh, I went too far. Okay, here we are. We've made our way in here now, but this is why we think that he is employed at the supermarket, because he actually has a cash register, which is just sitting here. That's actually the chair there that I'm trying to grab, so there we go. There's our chair, which is sort of blocking off this door. We can open that up now. But here is his cash register, which is simply sitting behind this door, and we're meant to be able to see this. If we peek through this doorway, we can actually see it on the other side. We can see the cash register and the cart, so this is obviously something that we are meant to see. It's not hidden from us. It's something that the developers put in there on purpose so that we could sort of figure it out and decode more of what's going on here. So the general idea is that he either stole from the supermarket or was employed at the supermarket, and I like the idea of him working there. Personally, I think that that makes the most sense. But he does have these shopping carts, which are actually the same as the ones in the supermarket parking lot. So that's kind of an interesting little thing. That's probably the most important thing, in my opinion, that we found in this version, other than the secret codes, of course. But that is one of the super important things that we need to remember and sort of take with us to the future of Alpha 4. So let's go ahead and move on to the next thing now, which is actually right out this way. So there is another secret room in here. There's actually a few more. If we come in here, let's see if this is the one that I want. This is indeed the one that I want. Okay. So if you come in here, there's all this creepy water stuff going on. If we step inside this water block, we can actually see through this water block into this sort of basement door that's up here. So this is actually another basement door that is in here, and hopefully this will lead to something very spooky in the future. We're actually going to remember this location, because if this is in the Alpha 4, then this is probably going to be some big area which we're going to want to know about. But you can see it's hidden behind this water block, because if we go to the other side, you can see right here, and they just wanted to make it sort of, I don't know, I guess underwater, maybe? Maybe that's what the intention was. Maybe this will be an underwater room. That would actually... Shark? Shark, are you gonna be in here? Oh, I hope they bring the shark back. Oh, the shark is my favorite. Okay, but let's not focus on that too much. But that's sort of my theory as to what's gonna be in there. Hopefully they put that in there. That would be awesome to see. I would love to have the robotic shark back. He's obviously one of my favorite buddies of all time. But let's continue on now. There's that secret door, which there is actually an entrance to up top, which we're gonna take a look at in a second. But if we come over this way, we can actually see through this door. We can see our, well, maybe not. I thought that there was something. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and teleport behind the door. Doop. All right, there it is. There's part of our code. So this is our secret QR code. We're gonna take a look at the other half in a minute, and then I'll show you what the code comes out to, because this is the most important thing going into Alpha 4, because the developers have told me directly in person that we will want to remember this code come Alpha 4. I have spoken to them in person at PAX, and they told us that is when this is gonna be relevant. So, remember this code. Don't forget. Apply it in any situation. Whatever the situation is, use the code and hope that it helps. But hopefully we'll see what this means very, very soon. In 2 days' time, we should hopefully have a use for this secret code. Okay, let's continue on to what I was talking about before, which is where that secret room sort of goes out to. Okay, neighbor's around here somewhere. We're just gonna pop in here though. All right, so this is where that sort of room leads to. So right down there and through there, you can see that water block. You can actually drop down on top of it, which is kind of weird. But up here is the train station that's going on. It's really dark in here, I know, I'm aware of that. But there's sort of a train station that goes on, and you can see this thing leads down to that generator, which sits on top of that floating room, which is kind of weird that they did put that in the game, but obviously they didn't expect anyone to actually be able to reach it. So that's just sort of there, and hopefully that will provide us with some information for Alpha 4 that we can put to our uses. But I think that covers most everything here. Now there is one more thing that I want to take a look at, which is that platform up there. If we go up here, you can actually hear the screaming child from Alpha 3. There it is. So you can hear the screeching windmill and the screaming child, which is extremely off-putting, but it is there. So that's definitely something that we needed to mention, and I believe that covers most everything in Alpha 3 so far. So there's a few more things that we do need to take a look at, such as our house, because that is obviously getting a very big expansion, which I'm super excited about. But I think that covers most everything that we have learned so far, except for the ending. So we're going to take a look at the ending in just a minute. But first, let's go ahead and take a look at our house. So in our house, everything is super empty. Now, I assume this is because this version of the game was extremely rushed. That's another thing that the developers did tell me when I was speaking to them in person, is this version was very, very rushed because they were under a lot of pressure to get something new out. And that is why it has been so long since the next update. So obviously, there's not really a lot going on in our house. We got our phone, which calls his phone, and that's about it. We have the secret room up here too, which we've taken a look at before. We're gonna go ahead and just show you guys what's going on in here, which is absolutely nothing. Yeah, there's just this. There's nothing. It's just empty. It's just sort of broken because they haven't put anything in it yet. So there's that. Now we have covered that. Whoa. Okay, getting stuck. There's also that empty room right there, which has nothing in it as well. But I just wanted to sort of mention that real quickly because you can see inside of it, so it does seem suspicious. But nope, there is nothing inside of it, sadly. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and make our way to the ending. So we need a few things, obviously, before we get in there. One of the things will be in here. We just gotta teleport. Doop. Give me this key card. We will grab this thing and then head back downstairs. There we are, right in front of the door. And there we go. So our door is open now, and we're ready to head inside. And I don't think that there's anything else to mention really that's going on in here. We haven't found anything super suspicious or creepy. The mannequins are still around, and we still have sort of the teacher thing going on. His room is still sort of creepy, and there is still milk, although we can't poison this milk like we could with the other one. Well, not poison it, but put sleeping pills in it. But I think that is basically everything big and important. If there is anything that I'm mentioning, leave it in the comments down below, and I'll pin the most important one. So definitely be sure to do that. But let's go ahead and take our step into this dark room. Here we are. Okay, so this is the all-important ending. So we haven't really discovered quite what's going on here. The neighbor is sitting there crying in sort of his living room, and you can see it's really empty, which means that he's probably just moving into this house, which means he moved into this house at a very sad time. And okay, I'm just sort of like putting 2 and 2 together right now. This is all sort of stuff that I didn't think about before. But you can see this room is really empty. It's a bright sunny day and he is crying. And if we look back here, there's his child. There's the child. There's the creepy child, which means, okay, this is what I'm thinking it has happened. So my idea, why is he tapping his foot? That's kind of creepy. He's tapping his foot in a very odd motion. But we're not going to think about that. I'm just going to give you guys my idea as to what has happened here. So my idea is that the neighbor married someone. The wife had a child. The wife died. So now he's stuck with the child. And the child is the one that he has trapped screaming because he is sad about his wife's death. And this all happened as he was moving into this new house, which is why his house is so creepy, is because he was sort of going through this really sad time. So that's me putting 2 and 2 together. I don't know if that makes any sense to you guys, but that definitely makes the most sense to me. But here is the other half of our QR code. I just wanted to mention that real fast. If we actually peek through the door, you can see it right there as well, which is kind of weird. But there it is. There's that. Okay, so I just wanted to mention that real fast and sort of get my ideas out there. If you guys have any different ideas, definitely leave them in the comments down below because they're going to be super important come Alpha 4. But let's go ahead and take ourselves a step back this way. Okay, so now we're back behind the door, and this is where the boy is. And we've seen this before. There's just sort of a creepy outline, which you can't see on both sides because it's a 2D sort of sprite that's going on here and isn't 3D and flushed out and everything. But it's just sort of meant to leave that shadow so that we can see it through behind this door. So it doesn't really mean anything that it's here. It's just sort of there. And then there's other stuff behind here as well, which I don't know if that was intentional. But you can see there's shoes in here, which presumably would be his, because the neighbor doesn't wear these shoes. You can see what the neighbor wears. He wears his special shoes over there. So these are different from his shoes. So they're probably the little boy's shoes, which seems to be trapped up high somewhere. And also in Alpha 2, he was seen sort of capturing the boy and putting him and locking him away so that he wouldn't be seen. So I don't know what's going on with the boy exactly, but obviously the neighbor was going through a very sad time when he first moved into this house, And that is sort of what happened. So let's go ahead and see what car he has outside there and see if there's any sort of differences on that car. We can actually get to the other side if we go out like this, I believe. So we're going to go ahead and hop our way up. Boop, boop. There we go. And then we're going to come out here and sort of drop down right on top of it. So here is his car that's outside. You can see everything that's going on out here. It's actually really bright, so I'll try and fix that for you guys. But his car looks entirely the same. I don't see any differences to it at all. Obviously, we weren't meant to ever come out here, so this is just sort of a secret, you know, bonus room. There's our QR code. And I think that covers it for this bit. Well, I think that is about everything. Okay, so another thing that they're going to be introducing in Alpha 4 is that new level. Now, I have done a video on that. I'll link that at the top of the description. You guys should definitely check that out because we've covered most of that new level already, and there's some very interesting stuff going on with that. So I'll link that at the top of the description, but we're going to go ahead and end things there for today. We've covered most everything in Alpha 3 that we should know for Alpha 4 because it's very, very close to release. So definitely leave your comments with things that I have forgotten because there's probably quite a few, and it will be super helpful hearing back from you guys. But this is really interesting. I'm glad that we did this and sort of took this apart because I feel like I have a new understanding for the neighbor, because obviously this is when he first moves in. This is not any recent time. This is not moving out. It might be moving out, but no, I would assume that it's moving in. It just makes too much sense that this is moving in. I don't know. Leave your comments on what you guys think, and we'll definitely have some discussions in the comments about what's going on with our poor neighbor buddy here. But we're going to go ahead and leave things there for today. I hope you guys have enjoyed this episode of Hello Neighbor. Okay, buddy, can I come in? Can we be buddies now? Oh, I can come over to you. Hello. I can hug you. I guess I didn't touch the thing, so we can come over and tap him. And there's his tapping foot, which is kind of weird. And there's nothing going on in here other than that. But that's going to be it for today, everybody. I hope you guys have enjoyed. Get ready. Alpha 4 is almost here.